for being here on this very, very rainy day. I am Rafaela Teto, I'm the Director of Contemporary Art Center, and it is really a great pleasure, truly a great pleasure to have Sandra Cinto here at the Contemporary Art Center. She's an artist that I have admired and followed for many, many, many years. I think it was in '97 when I saw her first solo show at Tanya Bonakar Gallery in New York, and I fell in love. I fell in love with her delicate drawings that she all creates with like simple Sharpies or ballpoint pens, that's a tongue twister. And at the time there were some really lyrical photographs in the exhibition and some sculptural pieces. And then I had the opportunity in 2000 to invite her to be part of a big group show that I curated called Dreaming Now. And then there was another iteration of it when I was in Boston. I think that was in 2004 maybe, when we worked together again at the Rose Art Museum at Brandeis University in Boston, and now she's here. She did a really incredible mural in Kaplan Hall, in our Kaplan Hall lobby, but she also created this really magical contemplation room for us. So this is a space on the 5th floor that has been pretty underutilized. It was more or less a space that the staff used and that also our brides used to get dressed when they got married here. And I thought, oh my God, this is such a beautiful, beautiful space. It has this gorgeous window that overlooks downtown on the east side, and I just always wanted to do something in that space. So when Sandra was here, when Albano Afonso's exhibition opened here at the CSD and at 21C, I said, Sandra, can we just run upstairs? I'm going to show you this space, and I would love for you to come up with something. I think a contemplation room would work really brilliantly in the space. So she said yes, and created this wonderful space that we'll all see together in a moment. I know that many, many people have collaborated to make this space happen. First of all, our crew, and especially Meredith and Claire, who helped Sandra and Alice, who is Sandra's assistant, draw. So thanks to both of you. And then there are also, part of the contemplation room is the Library of Love. So Sandra invited artists from all around the world to make a book, an artist's book. And this book is now part of the Library of Love. And there are also several Cincinnati artists who have participated, so thanks to all of you. It's a gorgeous little library with about 240 books that will be here in Cincinnati for, we'll see how long the books will last, because visitors are allowed to touch them and handle them. And then Laurent, one of our docents, has created a tea for the space, because there's also like a little tea area where visitors can make themselves a cup of tea. So Laurent is a herbalist and has created a blend, thank you, a blend of herbs that includes sort of the ideas that Sandra has been thinking about for the contemplation room. So Sandra is a very accomplished Brazilian artist. Her work is in many collections, especially in Europe and in Latin America, also in the United States. She's been part of many biennials and has had so many group shows and solo exhibitions. I invite you to just check them out on her website or on the website of the many galleries that represent her. And it's a real pleasure to have her here today to talk a little bit about her practice. And then we'll go upstairs and she'll be available to talk to you about this beautiful space to contemplate, to explore, to meditate that she's now created for all of the visitors who come into our door. So thank you for being here.
Hi. Good evening. Sorry, my English is not very good, but I will do my best, okay? And I will try to be very short to give you time to go to the 50th floor and see the contemplation room in the Library of Love.
Sandra, can you get a little closer to your microphone?
here? Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you for Rafaela Plato and Steven Machico that invited me to do those projects at CAC. It is an honor to me to be in such a great space. I stayed here for the last 3 weeks, and I saw a lot of things coming on. Performances, openings, lectures, workshops. Is a real alive place. And this is very important for people to help people to be more human people and create places to people meet and see each other. So I would like to congrats Rafaela for the amazing work that she is doing, and Steven, also Steven. So how to, where we, okay. So I will start saying thank you for Kaplan Foundation that makes my work possible. My gallery in New York that also give us a lot of support in paper issues, documentation, and as I not live here, the gallery helps me a lot with the connection between the CAC and other stuffs like samples and FedEx and things like that. And I also would like to thank you, Albano Afonso, my husband, that he is an artist too. He did a solo project here 2 years ago. And now he comes and he's helping me to take pictures of all books. And he's a good helper, so I love you. I also would like to say thank you for Alice Ricci. She's the manager of my studio. And she also was the coordinator of Library of Love that we start work since March. So he did a very tough, hard work, and she's an amazing gal. And thank you for staying 3 weeks working hard with us. She stopped her life in Brazil to come here. So it's a very important contribution for us. And I would like to say thank you for the staff. Joe Civitello. Where is Joe? Hey, Joe, thank you. He's a great guy and organized everything for us. And his team, Tyler, all heavy things. Where is Tyler? Hey, Tyler. The chases, the seats, the carpet. Heavy things, Tyler was there helping. And a special thank you for Claire Talbot and Meredith Vadel that worked the last 3 weeks drawing on the contemplation room. It's not easy work to drawing 6-7 hours a day. It's a physical work. So I thank you very much for your effort to conclude this project. I don't want to forget. I have to say thank you for Cincinnati Book Art Society and the head of the Cincinnati, Judith, that is here too. She introduced us the book lovers that are from Cincinnati Book Art Society. That it was amazing because many people from there collaborated with amazing books, and also give a workshop last Saturday. That was very nice workshop. And you to be here in this raining day to listen a little bit about my work. Thank you very much. So, this is, if I have to define my work in 3 words, I would say drawing, architecture, and landscape. I have been using drawing for the last 25 years. I like draw because it's simple. We don't need a very expensive material. We can draw with any material, a piece of paper, a piece of tree. We can draw on the sand. We can draw on the walls. It's easy to work with. And I think drawing is very intimate language. And it is a very important expression, like talk, like dancing, like singing. Because everybody, when they are children, they drawing. And when we start to growing, a certain time, we stop it to drawing because someone tells that our drawing is not good enough. But this is not true. Everyone can drawing. Drawing is a very important expression that can allow us to tell things that sometimes we cannot tell with words. And I live in São Paulo, in a very tough city, like New York, with a lot of buildings, a lot of traffic, a lot of rush, violence, and no landscape. Sometimes we forgot that we are animals, we are human, because so concrete, so many machines, so many technology. So I have been thinking that I used a lot the landscape because my city doesn't have a landscape, and I like to do constructed landscapes and put in face of the real landscape. This was a piece that I did at the Rose Art Museum, named Nights of Hope. This exhibition was curated by Rafaela Plato, and it was important for me to do this work and talk a little bit about the night that we have in Brazil. Our New Year's part is summer time, and Brazil has a big coast, so we often go to the beach for celebrate the New Year's Eve night, and people brings that night candles, flowers, champagne. Everybody dress white, that for us represents peace, and people drop the flowers on the sea to offer to the mother of sea, that is Iemanjá, a god from the African people, but also represents the Saint Mary in the Catholic religion. So it's beautiful, the syncretism, we can use this word in English, syncretism between all religions in that night. And everybody, the beach in Brazil is a very interesting place, socially thinking, because every people from different ages, different social classes, and goes to the beach to see the fireworks together. And for one instant, when the 31 turns 1, January 1st, the fireworks are, how can I say that, shining, and everywhere has a desire to hope, peace, happiness, prosperity. And this is such power night. And one day I realized that, oh my God, when people are together, having good wishes, this is so powerful. And we didn't use this a lot. So if you use this power more, maybe we can change more the world where we live. So when Rafael invited me to create this piece, I put many layers of this kind of night. As as we can have many nights of hope in the world. And I realize that nowadays it's very difficult to catch a viewer on the exhibition, because the viewer sometimes is passing through the exhibition but not looking really to the works, because they have so they are so worried to they want so take pictures that they don't see the work. They are more thinking about to have a good picture or a good self, and they don't see real the work. They don't experience the real time. So I decided to create a kind of furniture that invited people to sit. So it's like a trick. It's a strategy to say people, hey, come here, sit a little, take a rest, look with calm. And when people sit in this bench, that is also a bed, they can start to see the drawings and the mountains with a lot of breeds, and the place without boundaries. So I think for the contemporary artist, one of the goals is to create works that invited people to stay for a moment and look deeply. This was another installation that I made in Japan. It was my first time in Japan in 2008, and I created this room with 3 kinds of landscape interlaced. A night landscape, a kind of morning landscape, and afternoon. You can see 3 colors of blue. And the idea is have the 3 moments of the day in the same moment. That is only possible through the art, I think. And people can sit on those beams and contemplate and take their times. And I have to say that my work is very connected with Japanese art, especially the woodcut prints made by very traditional Japanese, like okuzai. And my work is very connected with the Japanese philosophy. I am very interested in the Buddhism, because I believe Buddhism is not only a religion, but is a philosophy that helps us to live the life in peace and understanding people, not judging people, but trying to understand why they are doing that. So for me, Buddhism helps me a lot to see the world with a different vision, and helped me a lot to do my work. So I have been traveling to Japan since there, and 2 years ago I stayed there for a residence program, and I stayed almost 3 months working in a very small community in Aomori, and it was very, very, very important. So I will talk more about that, but when I will explain about the contemplation room. But I love the way that Japanese people think about each moment in the life is precious. So everything must be beautiful and well done, because everything is important. So each line, each star, each dot is important and should be well done for the people that will see the work. Another issue in my work that I have been working with is the theme about water. I have been drawing a lot of imageries that represents the ocean or the rivers or the power of water. Water for me is an element very important. We can stay without food, but we cannot survive without water. Water changes all the time. Water is in all religions as a symbol of clean transformation, passage, bless. So it's a very symbolic element. And I like to put the viewer immersed in those drawings. And my intention is that the viewer not only see the drawings with the eyes, but feel the drawings with whole body. This is a very, very important issue in Brazilian art. Many artists play with installations and works that try to keep not only the vision but whole body for the viewer. In this installation, you also can see the influence by Japanese prints and also the Baroque art from Baroque that is very important for the art in Brazil. This is another exhibition that I made in Spain. And I would like to show this image for you because you can see the bench with a column of books as one leg of the bench. And this image, for me, is related to the Library of Love. I have been using the image of books in many installations because for me the book is the most precious object sorry, that we have in the world. Not only the book that has the knowledge, but all the books that have histories that are passing through the ages, through the generations. And to do a book in my country is very expensive. We have 15 million of people that don't know how to read in Brazil. So it's a big issue to talk about books and the power of books. Now in my country we are suffering a kind of queue, and we are suffering a very, very disappointing time because the government is taking money and for the education. We had 30 years steps behind with this new government. And this is a very serious problem. So we have to talk about books and people that didn't know how to read a book. 15 million of people is a lot of people. And for me, the books makes the balancing between things, the education, the knowledge, the culture. I have a lot of works, but I don't want to stay all the afternoon talking about that. So you can see more if you Google or if you go to my gallery's website. So now I will start to talk about the contemplation room, okay? So after my residency in Japan 2 years ago, I developed a new series of works that I named Chance and Necessity. If you saw this work, the back is black and the drawing is white. They are very graphic, like the work that is upstairs. No? It's an open landscape that people can see, that people can imagine, fly, or have a moment of think about reality. And I believe when we are in front of a landscape, we realize how small we are. The greatest men in the world, like Buddha, Gandhi, Jesus Christ, many important people had their moment when they are alone inside the nature. So when we don't have the nature, art can create it for people. But look, this work is very, the back part, the black is very, how can I say, very solid. But when I was in Japan, I started to work with a community, and I learned a very traditional technique named the shibori, where people dye clothes with indigo blue, a natural plant that create the color indigo, the blue that we used a lot. And in this process of dyeing clothes, they used a lot of water. And at the same moment, I was suffering a transition in my life because my father passed away, and I had my, como fala, luto? When someone dies, what's the name of the period? Yeah, this, in Japan. So it's my father passed away in a very beautiful way, but was my father. So when we lose someone very, very important, like father or mother, I think something changed in our lives, and I understood that we cannot control everything. So I start to create this kind of landscape that the water with pigment runs through the surface. So it's not controlled like that. You can see the changement. This is more controlled. I have the black and the white. This is under control, not controlled. So I drop the pigment with water on the surface, can be a wall or can be a canvas or a piece of paper. And after it dries, I drawing, playing with the marks on the surface. This was a big changement in my life, accepted that I cannot control everything. So this change everything. And when I come back from Japan, I did this solo show in my gallery, and I create 2 big canvases. They have 7.5 meters by 3 meters each, and they have this sculpture that is a bridge that for me represents the life, where we started as a children. When we pass, we are on the bridge now. And this part, the share, is the end, but it's not the end. You can see the movement. So I don't want to think that this is the end. I want to think that this is the cycle of life. Do you understand? So, and the beauty, I think the beauty in this piece is the horse, how you say that in English? Rocking horse, and the chair, they have the same balance, because the happiness of children is they have all life to discover. So everything is beautiful and happy. And the beauty of the old people is they had all life lived. So they have a lot of experience. So I love that the two parts of life are more playful and more happy than the adult life that we are working, building, buying a house, working hard to do something. So it's interesting where we are in this point now. This was another exhibition. This photograph is not so good, sorry about that. But you can see the painting. Some details. In the when Rafaela invited me to do the contemplation room, at the beginning the name was meditation room. And during the process, we decided to change for contemplation room. For me, it's important to say that there are all the time two movements in the room. One movement very slow, made by the drawings, little by little, many hours a day, many days. And there is the movement very, very fast, very quickly, of the water running on the walls. And all the time we have two opposite movements, the light and dark, the small and the big, the soft and the hard. So I believe our perception, to understand things, we need to have always the opposite. Perception plays with opposite. If we don't know what is white, we don't know what is black. So this is important. Sorry. And for the library of law, for the contemplation room, I could do a wallpaper that is less expensive, and I only can send the file to a company and they can install for me. But it's important to stay here working for 3 weeks with more 3 persons, because the energy that we put in this drawing is there. It's different than a wallpaper. And it's important that people see how many times we take to do something, just to people see. Just for that. It's not for sale. It's just to people see and maybe feel better. So this is the idea. And why that I don't use wallpaper, digital things. It's important to do things like all the technicians. When you go to a museum, like a Chapel Sistine or Ravenna, and you see the mosaics, and you say, oh my God, people do this. This is so beautiful when people do things just to other things, just to create beauty. So this is my idea, to do it by hands and little by little, many days, and leave it for people see. And when I saw the plan of the room, when I visited the room and Joe sent me pictures, there is a little corner that I decided to create a library. And during the process, Trump was elected, and we suffered a coup in Brazil. And the world seems that the people are crazy, a lot of hate. So as an artist, I feel very sad and, oh my God, how I can do my work and put my ideas in my work, and how I can do something. Nah? And I am an artist. That's the only thing that I know to do. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a writer. I'm not a socialist. So I work with visual things. So I decided to create the Library of Love, because I could involve more artists. And I wrote a letter to my friends in Brazil and my friends in the world, asking them, invited them to collaborate with an artist book for the Library of Love. And the subject of the book is love. So I asked them to think about love in different ways, because love is not easy. Love is not simple. Love is something that we have to practice every time. Sometimes it's very hard. So sometimes love is heavy. causes pain, is complicated. But it's important to think about love. For me, Trump was not a child that received loves. Yes, it's true. Because look, this little baby with the heady hairs, when this little baby was a baby, he was a beautiful baby. He was a beautiful child. What makes him a person like that? What makes my government corrupted like that? What makes a person kill another person? Of course, we have diseases, but this kind of person, like Trump, like the people in my government, I think they don't receive the love enough when they are children. And this is we have to have compassion, we say this in English, compassion of those people. They are in a dark side of the life. And if we are in the light side, we have to forgive them. This exercises the love. This is very difficult. But we only can change if we work with love. If we fight, like Gandhi said, violence generates more violence. So I believe in small changements. I will not save the world as an artist. But if I can drop a little things, it's a big changement. If someone goes to the Library of Love and see a book and, oh my God, I have to forgive my children, or because he is a gay, my son, because he's a gay, and I have to complain that. If I was able to do this changement, I did all changement in the world. If someone go to the Library of Love and see, oh, today I have to give a hug to my children or my husband or my father, I save the world. If someone looks the books, the amazing books, and say, I will also do books like that and give as Christmas for my friends. I will not buy horrible stuff, and I will create books and give it for Christmas. I save the world. You understand? We can save the world if you start now. But not with, I hate you. No, I love you. I really love you. Because inside you, even inside Trump, there is a Buddha. Even inside him. It's hard to say that, but it's true. Very little, very hiding, but it's a person. So we have to change our minds and try to be more love people with other people. Say, good morning, how are you? But say this not because it's polite, because we are really interested. When you say good morning, you say because it's automatically, or you say because you saw the day is beautiful, really beautiful, and you say, good morning. We woke up again, and the life is good. We have to think about our words. Our words are very, very, very powerful when we say that words truly. It's important to think about Facebook and social medias. As Robert Bauman said, it's very easy to, you are not my friend, proof, delete. But it's very hard to say that, look in the eyes. I don't like what you said. You hurt me. So it's very dangerous to have only friends and likes through a computer. We have to care about relationships. All this crazy wave that we are suffering is because that. we are not taking care about ourselves really. We are so busy asking for likes or having new friends that we never know personally, or saying this. I don't have Facebook, I don't know the vocabulary, but so like or don't like, blah, blah, and we don't care about take a paper on the floor or put water in a plant or eat an apple with, oh, this apple is so enjoyable. Who planted this? For this apple come here in my hand, so many people was involved, but I spend my time on Facebook. You understand how hard it is to think about love, how complex it is. So I talked about that with many artists in Brazil since March. I was working hard in this work. I organized with Alice many meetings in my studio. I stopped all my projects to develop this project. That for me is something. For me, this is a way that I can do something in this crazy world. And this is images of many artists in the meetings, showing their ideas, showing their projects, and when they delivered the works, they are so happy, and we take pictures. And before the books traveled to United States, I organized in my studio a little exhibition with all books in Brazil, because the books will be here, and we hope during this time that the Library of Love is in CAC, we hope to find a place to donate all books together, or a public library, or a public school, or a museum, an institution. But my intention is donate all books together. So I will use a part of my artist fee to do a book, a simple book, to catalog all books. And with this material, will be more easy to offer. Look, I have this precious library. Your institution accept it as a gift. So this is the idea. So probably the artists will never see the books again. And they didn't see the books together. So I organized in one Saturday a small exhibition in Brazil. And let me see if I talk everything. I forgot to say one thing. In the Library of Love, we have many different kinds of artists from countries like Portugal, Spain, France, Japan, Chile, Mexico, Russia, United States, many countries, Finland, England, Italy, and we have different kinds of materials, different kind of ideas about love. We have also a sound piece that was created special for the Library of Love. We have the idea is play with many different senses. Listen, taste, touch. So we decided to put a carpet inside the room and invited people to take off the shoes. And we have a beautiful cabinet where people can put their belongings. I hope people put their cell phones too. And people put their bags. So all stuff that is things that like money, key, cell phone, it will be out of this room. And when people go inside with bare foot, it's like people is buried, is more open. Like when you are inside a beach, you are with more freedom, more relaxing. This is the idea, to create a place for everybody, relax, be themselves. Don't need to a mask or stuff. And we had a great contribution that Laurence Depré Zenezini was in the workshop that I had. I talked last Saturday, and I talked about the 4 elements inside the room: the water, the air, the earth, and the fire. And she created a special blend named Blend of Love. She's a herbalist. She created a blend with 4 elements, so people can go to see the books, to relax, to do a meditation, or to do yoga, or to have a conversation or a small meeting, and they can serve a tea. And I asked for my friends in Brazil to create special ceramics to the Library of Love. We have a set of glasses made by one of the most important artists in Brazil, Regina Silveira. She created this set of glasses. It's not in this picture, but you can see personally. We have this ceramic by Kimini, that is the most important artist in Brazil that works with ceramic. We also have ceramics made by artists from Cincinnati that donate today a set of ceramics for us. And it's not allowed to have plastic cups inside this room. Okay? We have to fill things, and it's impossible to fill things in plastic cups. So, but I need your help to, when you finish, you wash your dish. This is part of the work. Part of love is their care. So Joy told me, how we can do, people will not wash. Yes, people will wash their dishes. This is part of love, okay? We have this deal. We wash the dish. This is important. To wash the dish is take care of other people that will use the dish. This is part of exercise. Because here you use a lot of plastic. People, stop to do that. Plastic give us cancer. People, pay attention. Let's start to use ceramic. Let's start to use like Japanese people. Time to eat is the most important time in life, because you are putting food inside your body that gives you energy. You cannot eat working in front of the computer. You cannot eat in a plastic bottle. This is horrible. You have to eat in a most beautiful dish, because you are doing a very important offering for your body. Have to think about that. American people doesn't take care about lunchtime. This is very, very important issue. Let's take care about food that we are putting inside ourselves. Let's take care about the beauty of this moment you is. Put a flower in the table, sit together, put a candle. This is a very secret moment to eat. Let's think about that. So my little room is a drop in this idea, but I want to share. You are responsible now. I pass this for you. So you have 50 people here. You have to We can change the city. I want to see the news. Cincinnati people don't use plastic dishes anymore. This is a revolution in the United States. You can carry your old cup inside your bag. Once I stay in the same hotel in New York for the last 20 years, but unfortunately this hotel closed now, and I will be in a hostel now. But this hotel has had some men that lived in the hotel. And I met one man. He lived in one room. I think he was a writer. He didn't have his kitchen. He didn't have a lot of stuff because he lived in a hotel, very small hotel. He only had a room. But once I saw him having his breakfast with the most beautiful porcelain that I saw in my life. He's American. And I learned with this guy because I said, oh my God, he has small things, few things, but the most beautiful things, most precious things. He was drinking his coffee in the shared kitchen in the hotel. He didn't have a kitchen, but he has the most beautiful cup. This is amazing, no? This is love. And I would like to finish my lecture in a very Brazilian way to relax. I want to ask it for everybody, step, be like that, and have a collective hug. Collective hug. Let's do a collective hug.
That's one of the things I always say about the Dutch is like, everybody in the train almost look exactly the same.
Isn't that a beautiful view?
That's it right now. Let's talk the other. Julia. Make details and kind of
how to understand what, because I think like there is some creativity.
I came back from the workshop and my husband said, how to wear.
Assim, não sabe. Não sabe.
Mas